And now, with an in-depth look at one of this week's biggest stories, it's Phillip Wilburn with TSW Inside!
Yes! Mr. Wilburn, Jim Kane, thank you very much! Now, yesterday was May 5th, also known as Cinco De Mayo. So, how did that come up? What's that about? We have a historian. See, it's very important. It's very important. Everybody wants to know, right? Yeah. Exactly. We need to learn. Here now to tell us all about it, please welcome historian Edward Branch.
Thank you for having me, Phil. I'm really pleased to be here.
Thanks for coming here. Now, I have to say right off the bat, I don't want to be rude. I'm just surprised. It's weird that how can I put this delicately?
That I'm not of Mexican descent.
Exactly.
Well, I understand, but let me assure you, I do have a PhD in Mexican cultural studies. I'm not just some man off the street.
Okay, well, I didn't mean anything by that, but let's just get into it. So could you give us a little brief history about the holiday so everybody can learn?
Well, thank you very much. Cinco de Mayo dates back to the Battle of Puebla in the 19th century when France was occupying the country of Mexico, and then after the Mexican army won, they went out that night and they went ahead and celebrated by wearing some traditional Mexican headwear. And this allowed them a little bit of anonymity in case there were any French soldiers still milling about loosely.
You say you do have a PhD in Mexican history? Is that true?
Oh, yes, Mexican cultural studies. I'm not just some man off the street, Philip.
Okay.
So, you know, there were plenty of other ways to celebrate after the victory because, you know, they were actually fighting multiple wars at the time. So the soldiers were very hungry and starving, so they went out and celebrated with some traditional Mexican food that was popping up all over the country. That cilantro is like crack, is something the Mexican soldiers would have said while negotiating a peace treaty with France.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there because you need to chew, one, and number two, there's no way that's true. There's no way that's true.
Excuse me, one, not chewing is part of Mexican cultural heritage. Secondly, I am the Mexican historian here, not just some man off the street. All right, let's talk about the lack of infrastructure and some of the problems that created as far as creating undrinkable drinking water that caused disease and created more problems for the Mexicans after the war.
Okay, that sounds like we're back on track.
So instead, because the drinking water wasn't very fresh, they would have to quench their thirst with some velvet margaritas.
Okay, I'm going to stop you. No, they did not.
Okay, well, I am the historian, not just some man off the street, okay? Let me show you their victory cry after battle.
No, I'm not going to let you do that because I think that will be vaguely racist. No, you're not going to be able to do that.
All right, whatever you say, Philip. I am the historian and not just some guy off the street, all right?
You know what? You keep saying that. You keep saying that over and over. I got to ask you, are you just some guy off the street? Son of a bitch stepped on my toe when he left. Just fucking stomped it with his 8-foot frame. That's not comedy, that's just truth right there. And finally, on Tuesday, Wes Anderson turned 49. Now, his birthday party started out a little quirky and interesting, but by the end, it became unbearably quirky and insufferable. The Top Story Weekly, I'm Phillip Wilburn!